here we go. Melbourne Storm, North Queensland Cowboys. Tricky kickoff, but in the end it's innocuous. Oh, it's Munster for the end. Hughes on the run. Now it's Eli Katoa. Strolls over. We see it time and time again. Eliesa Katoa. What a great try scorer he is. Not setting the world on fire, but they are still in the top four, so hardly panic stations, but there might be some panic here because Nene flying down the sideline and he just couldn't quite connect with Laban. The Cowboys on the left, they want the high ball out there, although Dearden onto Drinkwater, no high ball. Or the extravagant flick. Nene will fancy his chances to get there on his own, but Melbourne again hold on. Laban there with a strong tackle. Grant, Hughes for the line. Hughes is over. Drinkwater couldn't do it. Drinkwater couldn't hold on. And Melbourne roll in for their second try. Left side is where it seems to be going. Dearden cuts out two. Oh, what a pass. Well, there's an audition. Barlow over in the corner. Boy, that was Latrell Mitchell stuff there. That one just went past everybody. It's an important moment here because the Cowboys now, he rushed the pass. Now, brilliant. It's taken here like a flag race at the beach by Nick Meaney. And now the Storm are rolling. Anderson. Well, he's risen like the Undertaker, but then he's dropped the ball. Bateman back towards the middle, away from Kamitha, onto Drinkwater. Drinkwater down the middle. Oh, ball comes out. Ball comes out at the death, and somehow Melbourne have held on again. Grant. Hughes. Onto Pappenhausen. The dummy not fallen for, but he stays alive. Keeps it going to Grant. Onto Hughes. Hughes is over. Devastating. Melbourne Storm devastate the Cowboys with a try right on half-time. For Hughes. Look at the space, the kick, and the try for Meaney. Oh, they're firing now, Melbourne. Tries either side of half-time. Back in for Hughes. Look at them all lining up the Storm. Hughes has got three. Hughes, oh, he didn't get it down. He did not get that down, and Scott Drinkwater gets him at the death. Oh, Robson, look at the space. Oh, and then the pass to Drinkwater, and he's away. Well, that's a clever try for North Queensland. Well, they can pile them on in a hurry. There's the first one, 24-8. And the sharp play the ball. Comes to Drinkwater on the last. The high kick. Around for Laban. Nene. And is a live ball. Back for Nene. On to Dearden. Dearden almost coat hanging. Out it goes now. Vilea needs the bounce. Gets it on. Derby. Over. Cowboys in again. They're coming back. The North Queensland Cowboys, back-to-back tries. Through their set, last tackle, Hughes. Puts it up, Katoa looked to be onside. Anderson up, oh, Barlow with confidence, and he throws the pass, which rebounds to Grant. On it goes to Munster. Munster showing, wheeling and dealing, and now wrapped up with Melbourne going again, the start of a new set. Oh, Barlow did so well, then he threw it away. Solomona for the line, and he's over. He's over Nelson, and he's got a try. Big Nelson Solomona. Harrison Edwards.
Yeah, a bit of late footwork, just reaching from Edwards. Nothing much in that.
Kick is good, 32-14.
Very good.
So that one, wind is their friend here as it brings it back, and Coates goes again. And, comes away to Wishart. Wishart will go for the line and score. Xavier Coates, brilliant. Tyron Wishart, the poacher. And Melbourne finish in style. 38-14, the final score.
Craig, that's a strong start towards finding some consistency.
Yeah, I think that, obviously, look at the score and it looks pretty dominant. I didn't feel like it was like that during the game. I think we scored a couple at the end and whatever. But again, the best part that I thought about our game today was, our goal line defence, inside our 20 or 30 metre zone. I thought we'd done a great job in the first half and sort of backed that up in the second half. So that was the real pleasing thing. I mean, we got a bit... just lost a bit of patience there at stages, I think, with the ball, which sort of hurt us a little bit. But, if we can sort of fix that up and keep that defensive effort going, we'll slowly but surely improve.
Would you say that was one of Jerome's best games this season? It was 2 try assists, 2 tackles, 9 tackle busts. It was pretty impressive.
I think that was probably his best game this year, to be quite honest. So, he has been playing pretty well, but that was a pretty special effort tonight, and so he's put a couple of good ones together, and I'd agree with that. It was definitely his best performance this year.
Are you seeing that at training, like during the week? Is the way he's playing himself? Is it just momentum building off what he did last year, or?
Oh, he's just had a few injuries this year, and just sort of coming out of that now a little bit. He's starting to get on top of him, I think. So he's done. To be quite honest, he's done remarkably well to have played as many games as he's played. With some of the injuries, they're just sort of, and they're wearing down a little bit mentally too, I think, just not being able to do the things that he's used to doing or capable of doing, but and also not being able to do them as quickly, so, he's been really brave for us, so, he always wants your halfback out there, directing things, but like I say, it looked like he shook off a few of those injuries tonight, and is nearly back to his best, especially with his running game.
Did you have to say anything to him? Like, I know his confidence in the past, I guess, has maybe wavered a little bit, but like to tell him to back himself in his running game a bit more, or is he just because he is fit, he's got that confidence?
I think I tell him that often enough over the years, but like I say, I don't know how he's feeling exactly, like with his injuries, so. Like I say, we were just sort of really grateful that he was made himself available and still contributed in a pretty big way with his organisation and he's organising a team and plays and whatever. But it just looked like he was back to his old self tonight. So hopefully he can stay on that track.
And the same, I guess, about the man next to you, back to his best tonight, Phil?
Yeah, I think sometimes he tries too hard, and I think he was. I wouldn't say he's more relaxed tonight, but he just sort of let people do their jobs, and then when the opportunities come, he picked them out and went for it. But I thought he really led the way with our defence tonight. He tackled really well, and. So them two guys, back to their best. It's a big boost to our team.
Right, were you happy with how Nelson set the tone for the team today?
I thought he done a really good job actually. He done a great job last week, and obviously done really good job this week. We've started in the last 2 weeks, so that might be a little sign for us. But like I say, he's gone out there and it is hard for him defensively at times, with his contact, how tall he is. Sometimes, someone just has to duck down a little bit and he ends up, not where he was sort of aiming for. So I just thought today, he was just really looking at being effective in defence, and, that seemed to work really well. And, I thought, he was a big contributor today as well.
Craig, back-to-back wins. Heading into a bye next week, the side's pretty well placed.
Yeah, we are at the moment, but if you start thinking that, you'll tumble at some stage. So it's nice to win back to back, and I think it's the first time for. I think we've gone 4 wins, 3 losses, and so it was sort of win loss, and win last week, and now we've got a double. So we know we're on the right track. I think, as I said, I was sort of kicking myself a little bit too. A couple of things that we probably weren't doing at training that we probably should have or could have. But, just took me a little bit while to wake up to that. So so hopefully with our preparation, that's better, and then if we got that better, well, our performance will be a bit more consistent.
How did it feel out there for the team? Like, you must be proud of your defence. I mean, I think you guys held them out there for really about 20 minutes, and then you got that late try in the first half, which was pretty crucial.
Yeah, no, it felt really, really good, and things didn't always go the way we would have planned, and there's a few penalties and stuff. So obviously discipline's a big thing, but it's momentum as well. Like Craig said, we ended up turning up and defending our goal line a fair bit, and their second half tries, it was, I think I sort of let Drinky sort of come through the middle there. It was, he's pretty quick and elusive, and sort of came from nowhere, and then off an offload, and then that last try off kick. We've got to be able to stop those, and they're pretty simple fixes in a sense. But like Craig said, I think our goal line D was good tonight, and there's still plenty to work on there.
Harry, was there a determination to win for the coach off the back of his announcement this week, and has it provided a bit of a spark for the playing group?
Yeah, for sure. He said if we win tonight for him, he'll shout us coffees when we get our first session back after the bye. But I think subconsciously, definitely, I think it's a big moment for the club, big moment for Craig and everyone around, and that we know that we've got him on board again for next year. So I think that's very pleasing, and probably didn't make a point of it, but subconsciously, I think everyone had a bit of a spring in their step, knowing what's ahead for the club.
How does this game set you up for the next Origin, like physically?
Well, I've got to get there first, I think. There's still a bit of footy to be played over the weekend, and selection comes there. But I think I had a pretty clear focus of what I needed to work on from that game on Wednesday night, and it sort of hurt not being able to play after that against the Titans, and that was just precautionary with the hamstring. So I think sort of had a pretty narrow focus, and pleasing to just get a win for the team, and everyone sort of played their role within our game plan tonight.
Craig, how did you assess the games of Sean Bloor and Jack Alf, who once again was a shining light for you tonight? Yeah,
they I think they're just getting a little bit better each week. I think Blory took a little bit of settling into what we saw as important here, especially probably with his defence. But he's starting to pick up on that now, and he's a powerful athlete, to be quite honest. He's hard to handle when he's running the ball. But like I say, he seems to be working in really well with Munster at the moment defensively. And like I say, Jack's still only a young bloke, to be quite honest, and quite inexperienced. So again, those guys seem to be picking things up pretty quickly, and hopefully, I've got no doubt, they've still got, a fair bit of improvement in them, individually, but also as a left edge. And, so we'll look forward to that improvement in the coming weeks.
Stefano Utoikamanu obviously has some really strong carries out there tonight. Mitch Barnett has gone with the ACL for the Blues. Do you feel like that's sort of next man up, is Stefano to go into that starting side for the Blues? Yeah, well, he was in the camp, as 19th, 20th player, so you think he'd be right up there in the firing line. So, I think he's a real big chance, and I don't think he did his chances any danger tonight. He was really solid, but as you say, some of his runs, really stood out. So I'm sure Laurie will be looking at his defence as well, and hopefully for Steph, he'll line up in the next game.
Craig, are the goal kicking duties Pappies to lose now after a perfect performance tonight? Yeah,
he kicked really well tonight. For most of it, he has kicked really well, but when Nick had a couple of weeks off, like Nick was kicking early, and when Nick had the broken cheekbone, Paps took over and he was kicking well. So probably, I think last week or the week before, he probably wasn't there, but that happens to all goal kickers, to be quite honest. So, but it's nice to be able probably say that we've got, two high-class goal kickers, in Paps and Nick. So, as you say, it's, like the score there at one stage was 24-14, whatever. Like, if Paps misses a couple there, they're right in the picture, So, it's an important part of our game, goal kicking, and it's nice to be able to have a couple of guys that, with high percentage rates.
Craig, you over in Perth?
Yeah, I'll be going over on Sunday, I think. What's the date? Friday? Yeah, Sunday, I think. So we got the bye next week, so I'll spend a bit more time in the camp this week than I did last week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, Todd, I suppose, where did you start then when you addressed the sheds?
Look, we just had a short discussion, I guess, off the back of what we spoke about at half time. And then, the message was short and sharp, but just pure disappointment. And didn't make a good team earn anything. And, in the end, doesn't matter when you crack so easily on your try line, and then just give them leg up after leg up with tackle 4 or 5 penalties, played 1-2 errors, so it probably should have been more, to be fair.
So discipline really something that hurt you?
Yep.
Did you feel like in that first half, like Storm scored quickly and then you sort of felt like you rallied back a bit of momentum there?
Yep.
Like, is it just about being able to execute that and continue to build on that? What is that? Is that sort of where you sort of draw on next week to try and take some positives from that?
Yeah, so I thought we fought really hard to get ourselves back in the contest at 12-4. Thought we had a fair bit of momentum. The try in half-time really hurt, and then conceded one quickly after half-time. And then just, some of our decisions, particularly coming out of our own end, really costly. So, it's frustrating and burning inside, so it's hard to put into words at the moment. But, we're here ready to play. We were, and we were far from our best, and I hate when we beat ourselves, and I felt like tonight we did exactly that.
Tom, did you feel like it was a frustrating game for your team out there? As Eloise said, you had that momentum in the back end of the first half, but you just couldn't quite get across the line.
It was frustrating that we couldn't keep building the pressure. Like, I think we had a few opportunities that we definitely missed, but I thought if we could have just built a lot more pressure and stayed more consistent with handing the ball over in the right areas, like that's sort of the frustrating bit, that we didn't do enough of that.
At this point in the season, Todd, how do you sort of look at the season now? We're sort of that halfway mark. How are you sort of seeing? You say there's this burning inside of you, like with obviously the back of this performance, it's fresh, but how are you sort of looking at this right now?
Oh, look at the bigger picture. We've got a tough little period coming up. It's a whole squad mentality about what we do at training without our Origin players this weekend. Watch the next 2 Origin games holding our fingers together. And then, as coaches, we've got to keep everyone connected, make sure our content's right, and then the guys that are here with us week to week is putting our head down and keep working, and you just work your way out of it.
Drinkwater, he looked a bit ginger in the first. Did he have a shoulder issue in the second? How's he? Is he all right?
Oh, he's sore. I think he's hurt his shoulder. He's rolled his ankle. So we'll be licking our wounds for a couple of days.
Tom, obviously there's a lot of talk about the Origin number 7 jersey. Like, how did you sort of, rate your own performance there in terms of an audition to wear that?
Well, I wasn't really looking at it as an audition, but I thought I probably just didn't. It could have been a lot better with helping us with direction and then handing the ball over in the right area. So I think there's probably a few areas I need to look at from that performance. But I just have to look at that in the review.
Todd, do you feel like Tom's ready to take over that role?
you're asking the wrong person. I know he's ready. It's just not my decision. So, selfishly, I'd love him to come off the bench, but if they want to win, I'll be putting him in the halves.
30th celebration tomorrow for Townsville. You try to flight back tonight. It's a big celebration for the club.
Yeah, it is. It's, I guess, one of the biggest off-field celebrations for us as a club since our inception. Yeah, it's a chance for us all to recognise our past, how we became about, and then, yeah, just get around our community and enjoy each other's company, and most of them will be pretty happy.
So, how did you assess Villiami's tackle on Nelson in that first half?
Pardon?
Villiami's tackle on Nelson in that first half. That put him on report.
Yeah, I'll just let the match review committee deal with that. Yeah, just got him in an awkward spot. Don't think it was totally intentional. It just happened quickly.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.